Welcome to Under the Plumbob Podcast about all things The Sims. It's been a while.
It's been a whole while.
Yeah. Nice little summer break that we had.
I had vacation for 6 weeks, y'all. Paid
Ooh,
vacation. Oof.
that's amazing.
Moved to Sweden, guys.
It's Jess and it's Julia, and we have a guest today. Oh my god. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah, I can do that. I'm like jamming to the tunes at the beginning of this and everything, so I'm like in my own little zone. But I'm KevTheBuilder. I am a builder in The Sims 4, and I've pretty much been playing The Sims since like day one. You know, the original, the OG, and then went to Sims 2. And then I was like super avid in playing Sims 3 back in the day. Like that was like my go-to. I was in my prime of Sims playing with Sims 3. And then when Sims 4 came out, it was like, what happened? There's no pools, there's no hot tubs. Like what? So I went back to Sims 3. And then once the pandemic happened, just like everybody else, you know, we wanted nostalgia. We wanted like friendship that was virtual because that's what we grew up with. And I ended up playing Sims 4, and I started a little Simstagram and then started streaming, and I've been building, and what I do in real life is actually interior design and interior architecture. So it's like I can't not say that The Sims had some sort of effect on that into my career. And now we are, you know, I've been doing this in real life for about 14 years, and now I've been, doing Simstagram and Twitch and all that stuff for, I don't know, it's been like 3.5 years, with the Panini and everything. So yeah, that's where I am at. I kind of take real life and put it into The Sims. That's my goal. So
Jesus Christ, you are living the dream for like I think every Sims builder, every Sim decorator.
yeah,
You're just like,
yeah.
yeah, so I'm just gonna, and I did that. Thank
And
you.
it's funny because when I would play Sims 3 like in high school, right? I would be really into building and like furnishing it, and then like I would like dabble in like making like dream lovers and stuff like that. But like, I'm also like more into the building, but I didn't know you could do it like as an actual career. Like I didn't know that was a thing. They don't tell you that in high school when you're like trying to get like into colleges and stuff like that. They're like interior design. That's not like, but yeah, you can go to school to it. You can get a degree in it. You can get certified, and
Eh.
yeah.
And that's what he did, y'all.
Yes,
Jesus,
yes.
how old are you? We must be the same age, but
I'm
I'm lacking.
I'm 34. I'm 34.
Well, I'm 31, so
So yeah, you're still a babe. You're still a babe.
tiny baby.
Yeah, I
I
love it.
already have my degree, but sadly, not in interior design.
I love it.
Wow, that's awesome! Like because I know of the Great Sim Bake Off. Obviously, I
Yeah.
saw Jess struggle and die. It was like a horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah,
traumatic.
if y'all missed that this summer, I was on Kev Runs the Great Simish Bake Off, and I was on this last season, and I got eliminated the first episode.
But you came back.
I came
You
back,
did.
yeah.
I mean, when me and my mods were chatting, we were like, I hope Jess wins. I hope Jess wins. Secretly, we were all saying that because, it was just like you had the best comeback story. It was like eliminated week 1. And then you kept coming back into chat. And you were still chatting, and you were still talking, and you were still rooting people on. And we were like, oh my gosh, she's so great from the sideline too. And then the redemption episode came, and she fought hard, and she was like baking and got her little butt back into the big house.
I was so surprised. My sim was like the first one done with that redemption bank. I'm like,
you
what?
were like, yes. She came back, and then like she went almost to the finale.
Yeah.
You were like literally almost to the finale, and the whole time, every week would be like, God, I hope Jess wins. I hope Jess wins. And that's the thing with this game is like, I'm a builder, like I don't do gameplay, but like Bake Off is the gameplay that I know. And it's usually like people yelling at me in chat on Twitch to tell me how to do things most of the time too. It's like, Kevin, you need to like make other Sims happy so they're not dying, and but that's the fun of all of this, but yeah, Jess made it all the way to the end, and her story was like great, and we were really hoping for to win, but this game's AI sucks, so
Yeah.
What?
yeah.
Couldn't find an oven,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
It's so hard.
It's like ghetto out there.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Jesus. Yeah, no, so like aside from that, you just build all the things. You don't do gameplay at all? Like you don't have
I've dabbled in it. Like I've done challenges and I've done like a legacy, like I don't know, maybe when I first started playing Sims 4, but like I guess I lose interest when it comes to like the storytelling and stuff like that. I'm one of those people that like I like to have a list of things I need to check off. So like if I'm working on some sort of gameplay challenge, that's great, but the babies overwhelm me when I see people do 100 baby challenges.
Oh, fuck
So
that.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
that.
It's too much.
Jesus.
So I just stick to my little cozy building, kind of a thing. So
I too also like mostly only build because
mhm.
I same as you get
Yeah.
so tired of the story. I'm just like this is I don't know. It's lacking. There's not enough nakedness for me.
There's not I'm here for this.
I mean, I don't want wicked whims because I know I would just like that would take me to another level and then I would have to go to prison probably. So I think I'm just gonna do building forever.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
safe. It's a little safer.
Do you use Sims like when you're building to like get inspo for decorations and like interior
I
architecture
I
or
wish, but it's probably the reverse. It's probably like what I do in real life. Like I might be drawing in AutoCAD or whatever,
oh god,
Revit or
cat.
something like that, and then when I'm starting to kind of come up with floor plans, I then kind of start to put that into Sims most of the time. But
Ah.
just because the scale in the Sims is so off compared to real life, so I try my best, but that's generally what happens is I maybe come up with like a real cool floor plan in real life, and then that ends up coming into the Sims too. So yeah,
Oh, that's cool though.
yeah.
Combining, do you ever stop working or is it just like always?
You
Do
know,
you
I
even
was
relax playing The Sims?
I do. Like there was like when I have like some nights where I'm just like aimlessly building, then those are the ones where it's like, my mind's kind of at ease. It's almost like a fidget sort of thing, like where some people have like those fidget spinners and stuff to kind of relax their anxiety. I feel like building's kind of that same thing for me where it's like I can hyper focus on it and then kind of zone out everything around me. Kind of meditative, I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, twin
Yeah.
souls.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun watching your streams. Like you get so into it sometimes.
Yeah, and there's sometimes I kind of forget there's even a chat,
Yeah.
It's just like I'm just like in the zone and I'm building kind of a thing. But I grew up with PBS television where like Bob Ross was on it, the painter, and it was like people would tune in and watch him paint. So like I don't find it strange that people tune in to watch me build, and even if there's not even chat going on really, there's like we're all like appreciating like background music and like the process and everything. So
Yeah. Everyone go check out his streams. Do you have a
Yes.
set like days you stream on?
generally I do Saturday afternoons is like when we do Bake Off, when that is like premiering and everything. And then I do like a Sunday morning my time, and then I'm usually Monday and Tuesday evening my time. So
What's your time zone?
I'm in Central, so I'm in the smack dab center of the United States.
Me too, Central, but European.
European Central. Again, twinning.
Oh my god! Have! My god, I found my twin spirit in this man across the world.
Yep.
How do I tell John?
I know when we were talking about like doing this episode, I'm like, I gotta get Julia and I gotta get Kev on.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You did a great job, Jess.
Thank you. So both of you are like my big inspirations because I've been building so much more lately, working on my skills.
It comes in and out, and like I think we always learn from each other. This community should never be like shut off from asking questions or anything like that. Like when people just like chime in and maybe like message or comment on a post on like Instagram, like I'm always there to like answer any questions, like, oh my gosh, where is that in the catalog, or like how did you do that, and then or even if they didn't know how to do something with Tool, and I know that's what we're going to talk about in a little bit, but like there's so many ins and outs that I don't even feel like I fully know all the capabilities of Tool, but we're all here to learn from each other.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
sure.
I love that. I'm in a Sims 4 builders group on Facebook, and like people are posting the most marvelous builds, and like people are like me, just like casual builders. We're like, okay, so like, oh, but what is that wallpaper? And they're like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
it's this.
Exactly.
I know, like when we'd be doing like our shell tours, Caitlin would be like, "Eyedropper, what is this? Where is this from?"
Exactly.
Not eyedropper, picking it up and
Yeah.
then not
Oh
putting it back where it's supposed to be.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's bad about that one too.
Infuriating.
Breaking people's builds.
Yeah,
Mhm.
horrible, horrible place to be. Ah,
We are going to talk about probably one of our favorite mods when
yes,
it comes to
bitch.
building.
Mhm.
It's Twisted Mexi's tool mod.
Our
Yes.
Lord and Savior.
Yes.
Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
Nothing but the best.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it has come in clutch with every single build of mine ever since I have started using it, and I started using it back when you had to have a sim on the lot. So it was like before there was the little pop-up menu back in the day,
Oh Lord.
Yeah. And I have ruined so many builds back in that time where like you would move a sim onto the lot and then like you would move them off the lot and then everything that you had furnished and everything on that lot comes with them.
Oh,
So
no.
when it became the like UI interface version of Tool, like that's when I really started to thrive with it.
I was like pulling all this information for it, and still like on some of these websites listed as like, well, you got to have a sim on the lot. You got to do this in live mode, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no.
Now it's back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's prehistoric age.
Yeah. Exactly.
Jesus, some people
Yeah.
just old out here. Not me, so young.
Not me.
The baby of this group right now.
Yeah.
Usually it's Allie, but I
Yep.
think I'm tinier, younger. Okay, so tool mod, guys. What does it stand for? It stands for take objects off lot. And why do you need to take them off the lot? So you can twist them and turn them and raise them and shrink them and do whatever. It's great to manipulate everything ever.
Mhm.
Almost. I have thoughts and feelings about this, which I will come about to. So you are not restricted by the size of an active lot. Like sometimes when you use like rocks, the debug rocks, you want to do something like nice little pool or whatever, and like the debug rocks are like huge. Then you can only get them so small with the usual brackets,
Exactly.
and then you can use tool mod and just like exquisite.
Any size, any
Height.
place, any height.
Yep, exactly.
You can also like lock it to like the terrain level. So when you just kind of want to show like a little bit of something on a different level, it's still locked to the terrain that you set.
Yes. The story or the floor too. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I accidentally had that set on one time when I was trying to move things around, and it kept like locking down to the floor, and I'm like, what is happening?
That's horrible. I remember before I used CC, now I just use so much CC because I am tired of like building my own bookshelves because I want something pretty.
Yeah.
Listen to me now, Sims. This is enough. Anyway, and like I used to do like the paintings, and then I downloaded some from the gallery, like wooden whatever. So look, I could do that for the kitchen, like cabinets.
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
had the wood in front, so it would look like a totally different set.
Yeah.
Then sometimes I accidentally move them, and then they flip up to the wall, or they lock to the
They
floor.
snap, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Put in all that time. Yeah.
yeah. Only to have like just one little mistake with the mouse
Yep.
ruin everything.
Yep.
But as it says here in the script, which you can't see, Kev, sorry.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's like it's used for clutter, like
Clutter.
clutter. You can put everything everywhere, everywhere. You're
Mhm.
not restricted to tiny boxes on the table. Just do.
It's like most tables in The Sims, you can put like 2 or 3 things on the table.
It's so weird how they have the snap points in this game.
Yeah.
Like,
So minimalistic.
so weird. Yeah.
Very Scandinavian though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like one little flower in an entire room.
I kind of love it though.
God damn
When you
it.
make it a statement, it works.
Do you think they did?
Yeah.
If I'm trying to make it realistic, though, I'm like, I need like spots on every single inch of this table.
Yep. Yep.
Also, Twisted Melee has their own subcategory on the Sims resource.
Oh,
Did you know that?
really?
Yeah.
No. Well, it seems appropriate though. Yeah.
Right? They
Yeah.
also have like this world builder mod and everything. I
Yeah.
have not tried it, but maybe I should get into
I
that.
saw somebody using it actually
Ooh.
recently for a save file update that they upload that they did. So it looks really cool. They basically turned Sulani into Miami pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they like put it like skyscrapers and kind of removed a bunch of like the like jungle aspect of Sulani and turned
Oh,
it more
God.
into like a Hawaii, like, Miami aspect, Honolulu kind of vibe. So
Oh my
yeah.
God. Not the gentrification of Solana.
I know.
Jesus. Ay.
Yeah.
Ay. Anyway, so the tool menu that we talked about earlier, you like shift T when you're in build mode. Live mode is like shift click on whatever. I think it's better in build mode, to be honest.
Oh, for
It
sure.
really is.
It's easier. And so the menu contains like different kinds of things you can do to manipulate the objects. We have elevate, move, rotate, scale, and toggle active objects. Also, you can copy any object for free. So when you're doing like, oh, this is a starter home, but it got hella plants.
Yeah.
Just copy.
Yep. The copy and paste is like my favorite thing because if you're scaling something, it will copy it to the same scale, which is amazing. I
Lovely.
have noticed like a couple things where like if you're copying a specific object like a sectional or like a upper cabinet or something like that, it will copy, but it will not it will go back to the default like thumbnail like mesh kind of a thing. So it will not copy the exact same item. So
No, I usually like to use the half cabinets
yes,
to do things.
I'm the
And
same
then
way.
when you
Yeah.
want to copy, it's just like, oh, you get the big ass
And then
one.
it comes back as the big one. You're like, wait, that's not the one I picked. Yeah.
And then when you try to reverse, you just kind of undo everything
It
you've done with
doesn't work.
tool.
Yeah.
Oh. So messy. So the elevate, what you call it, the elevate mod, the elevate
Option?
Option.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is English? So you can like lift and smash down objects by adding a preferred value. So like instead of doing the 9 and 0 to raise and lower, and so instead, and like then you have this little gap for things, which is so ugly and annoying. You could just use your little tool mod, and you can just like put in minus 0.01. Minus 0.05 is like the best. I've noticed.
Usually the decimal point I work on.
Yeah.
0.5. I do it in like 0.5, 0.25, or I'll even, this is just like me coming from real life, but like 0.125 is like
Ooh.
an eighth of a quarter. So that's kind of, never mind.
That's too much math for me.
Yeah. It's half of a half. There we go.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome because then, and also you can have objects fly into the sky. I've seen people do these like incredible when Magic Pack came out, they were doing this like magic libraries where books were kind of like flying
Oh,
around.
yeah.
I mean, they
like
were
candles
still.
floating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
There's also the move option. So kind of like when you're like when it snaps onto the table, you pull it off the table and then like just in the actual thing, like you can put in like your X and Y axis, but there's also
I can never figure that out.
I
for the
hate
life
doing
of
that.
me.
I
Yeah,
always
like,
put in the wrong values for
yeah.
that one.
I'm like, and even when you make the grid show up, it's like then it's like sometimes on an angle on the
Yeah,
lot,
I fucking
and
hate
I'm like,
that.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going, so I always just do where it's highlighted and do the Alt on my keyboard and click to move it
Mhm.
around. Yeah, that's my way of moving in the tool mod.
I started doing it too.
Yeah.
I think like if it's not on an angle, then it's perfect for when you're doing like apartments. So you have to look at you have the top view of the grid, and then you find the X is like maybe here and the Y is there. Then that is like 1, and that is 1, and then that is point, like minus and minus. So you move towards the letter.
My brain just can't wrap
Mine
around
brain
that.
doesn't function that way.
Sorry. That's like how I envision it. But then, like, if you're doing apartments, and you want to change all the windows, then you just build a little wall and you put all the windows, and then you move it like forward 1. So then you just have to find. So you do like point maybe 1 and then comma 0. So it's just x1 and then point 0
Okay.
for y.
I see you. I see
Yeah.
you.
I've been doing a lot of experimenting.
I love it.
Sexually, simply.
I love this. This is the best journey ever.
Love that for you, Julia.
Thank you. Anyways, someone else talk again, please.
I'd say my biggest thing with Tool that I didn't know when I first got it was when you go under settings, and I feel like this is probably the question that people ask the most, is there is a little checkbox that says snap to terrain that is like default to the mod when you download it. And if you uncheck that, then anytime you move something, it moves it at the same level. But if that box is checked and you're clicking on like the ground to move an object, it will slowly progress to lower and stuff like that. So yeah, always make sure that that is unchecked.
Yep.
That's my biggest tip for Tool there.
That was my issue when I was moving stuff around and just kept slapping down.
Yeah, and then you have to then elevate it. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no.
Just undoing all my work.
Yeah. I say I use Tool the most with landscaping too. That's the other one, because sometimes like if you have like terrain that's like sculpted, like the plants don't snap to, like they'll look like they're hovering always. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's another one. So that's like, I'm always lowering the plants sort of like slightly below the terrain to make it look like it's actually growing out of the ground, I guess, you know?
I do that too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, it's crazy how it just like hovers around.
It's a great little jingle.
Julia's very musical on our
I really
episodes.
feel like I want to watch Julia build now.
Yeah.
So, because I feel like we do a lot of the same stuff.
You can actually watch some of my speed builds on our YouTube page.
Ooh, perfect.
But I stopped doing that like a year ago because I got tired. Like I have like maybe 5 or 6 builds filmed now since I bought my new computer, but I just have not mustered up the energy to actually edit anything.
Sometimes the editing is just so overwhelming too on it, you know?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, and like I moved the camera too much. It's just it's not good. It's not pretty. Mm-mm.
That's why, like, I don't think I could do like speed build videos or anything like that because I'm always like twisting the camera around and like people are just gonna get dizzy watching this.
There's sometimes when I know that like I'm cluttering a space and like I have sort of these like pre-made rooms of like all my favorite clutter items that like I'll place on the lot. And so then it's a lot of like moving back and forth between that room and the other room that's like not in the house. And then I'm always like apologizing to stream people. So I'm like, I know this is a lot of like panning back and forth, but it's gonna look gorgeous, you know, at the end of the day.
Triggering someone's epilepsy.
Exactly. Look away.
Seizures.
Boom, boom. You know, that's exactly what it is.
Whiplash.
Yeah.
Can you have like digital whiplash?
I think like Vertigo is kind of the thing. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I think that's what it technically would be. Yeah. I love it.
I love Vertigo as a disease for the new era. Everyone's on Zoom with Vertigo now.
Yeah.
I love Vertigo. I love
the cause of a lot of people's vertigos. I'm sorry, friends.
Oh my god, we did that to them.
Yeah, but I know it's horrible. People who have vertigo suffer a lot, so apologize.
Here we call it the crystal sickness.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like something in the ear crystals.
Yeah, like your inner ear, yeah.
Yeah, so we just call it kristallsjukan.
Wow.
So weird.
Love learning Swedish from you.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's kind of a mouthful, but
Guys, you gotta practice Duolingo. It's like the first word.
Yeah. I'll just stick to going to IKEA for my my Swedish training.
Obviously, the only reasonable place.
Yes.
So, as an interior designer, you still love IKEA?
No. I love the concept of IKEA, but like it's not like good quality furniture at the end of the day. So
Julia looks like she's about to die.
I'm so embarrassed for my country.
But like sorry. But like the accessories are really cute too. Like I have no problem with that. But like, sometimes the furniture, I just question the longevity of it, It's great for people who are starting out, but a lot of the times it's like
not my entire apartment being IKEA.
But you're still young.
Yeah, that's true. I'm
still young.
Oh god.
They have good meatballs,
Oh, fuck yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Love the meatballs.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, anyway. I'm just gonna say that here in the notes, Jess, you actually put in how to use the move option.
Oh,
did I? I was copying and pasting.
Obviously. But it says, for instance, moving the object forward/backward is on the x-axis, while moving left and right is on the y-axis. You will nail this tool mod option with some trial and error, as I said, as you'll need to know the approximate values for both axes to get the object where you want it. I'm just going to say that 1 is one of those squares. So,
yes.
I have done a lot of trial and error here. So if you want to move it just like 1 square forward, like with the apartment windows, you just do X is the first one. So you do 1, then comma 0. So you don't move it anywhere on the Y axis. Yep.
I still can't figure it out.
To move the object forward for 3 building squares and 4 squares to the right, type 3,4. To move backward and to the left, use negative values, -3, -4.
And that works if you're like sitting on the grid right, which I never am.
No,
I'm, like,
never.
I'm facing backwards or something. So
yeah.
if I put in like -3, -4, it shoots off the opposite direction I want it
to. I hate that it's on an angle and you can't fix it. Like, how? Should I twist my house? Has anyone tried?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. If it works.
Yeah.
Speaking of diagonal, the fact that you can't, this is like totally off topic, but like the fact that you can't put stairs on a diagonal built house.
Yeah.
That gives me anxiety too.
Yeah. I was just doing this beautiful like floating thing in the mountains of the new ranch world, whatever.
Yeah.
And I had it built diagonally, but then I couldn't put the stairs. I just flipped it so it's like normal now.
I was working on a collab and I had decided to like build a portion of it like diagonal, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna roof it first, and I couldn't get the roof to look right. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna put the stairs in. I was like, I can't make the stairs look right. And then I went back to the roof, and then I went back to the stairs. It wasn't working. Then all of a sudden my game crashed and I didn't save. And then I was like, maybe this is just, the game telling me to like redo this completely.
Jesus!
Yeah.
Why do you even have the diagonal option if you're just gonna fool us like that?
Yeah,
Tomfoolery.
such a tease. Such a tease.
Oh, I hate it. Tease. Also a bad tease. Then we have another option. We call it, yes. And it's the best one. It's rotate.
Rotate.
Oh, yeah, rotate.
Yes. If you want like any of your objects like spun around, or like you can do it like any like axis. You can spin it horizontally, vertically. You can even like do it like at a weird diagonal angle kind of a thing.
Not diagonal again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much diagonal.
Yeah.
It's similar to rotating a photo on your phone. You're using 360 degrees, and you just like plug in the number to like spin it to just the right angle.
You can also see like the direction. It has
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
option. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can flip between the X, Y, and Z settings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. You can rotate everything.
I like that you can also like I'll make a lot of like pergolas, right? Where I use the wall sticks, right?
What is a
A
sorry.
pergola is like one of those like outdoor wooden structures that like you have like a patio underneath, and then it has like maybe viney plants growing on it and stuff,
Ooh.
you know. And so I'll use like those wall sticks, you know, like the really thin sort of
Oh yeah, from
Scandinavian
Eco
wall
Living.
sticks,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Pergola.
those will go up, and then I can click on all of them and rotate them 90
Yes.
degrees so that they're all horizontal and everything. So
You can have like a little ceiling. Oh,
yeah.
you can flip your paintings. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's like that, and then you can have them as a table. I see people use the wall decoration from Dine Out as tables, and you can use it for like everything
Mm-hmm.
with it, because you kind of like it's like this and it's wooden, and then you just take it, tool mod, and then flip it, and then you have like a table under that you then use
Like
the
size
scale.
down kind of a
Yeah,
thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and just oh, the things you can do, guys. You can flip the
Mm-hmm.
shelves and like
Yeah, I've seen people make some really cool like shelving units just by
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
flipping things around.
Ooh, and the little glass flooring from Island Living as well.
That's my
You can use it to
favorite.
make glass cabinets. I've seen people make it to like make doors for
Mm-hmm.
showers and stuff. Ah, there's no end, guys.
Yeah.
Rotate everything.
That one's my favorite, that Island Living one, to do it on a roof and then
Ooh.
have it angled so it looks like it's a vented little skylight.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Love that.
Beautiful.
Never have I ever thought about that.
Yes.
Now I will.
Yes.
And I will never give you
There's a
the
whole
credit.
Yep.
build series coming now from
Yep.
Julia.
See a lot of stuff from
Yeah.
Julia coming soon. It's because of this.
Yeah.
Truly. But there's like one thing that you can't rotate, and that is like from the debug menu. There's a lot of like wooden pillars. I don't want to say pillars, but like wooden whatever.
Yeah.
You kind of want to make them at an angle if you're making a bridge or something, but that doesn't work. It just gets thinner.
Yeah.
It's like such fat shaming.
And plants too. Plants are the other one. Like you can't rotate
Oh.
plants. And I know that sounds silly because they're like, why would you want to rotate plants? But I was working on this one build where it was like an A-frame that was supposed to be for like a really murky kind of world. And I wanted the ivy to kind of look like it was growing up the side of the A-frame of the roof. And so it would require me to like slightly angle the foliage to grow up it. And it doesn't do that. So yeah. Plants also have it out for them with tool. So you can
Bitch.
rotate and elevate, but you cannot rotate vertically, I
Yeah.
guess is the way I'm trying to say.
I tried to do that with the build I just did for your MASH challenge recently.
Yes.
And putting it on the side of the house like that, and it just wasn't working. I'm like, I'll figure something else out.
Yeah,
I can't do
yeah.
this.
Oh. Ugh.
That build was
horrible.
gorgeous though too,
Oh,
by
thank
the way.
you.
Yes, you did such a
Yes.
good job with it, with all the terrain paint and everything.
Just you have really been thriving
I know.
in this build
I love,
season.
and I think one of my favorite things is watching people grow as builders too. Like I'll see like like one of their first entries, and then they come back and they'll do one like a couple months later, and they'll do another one a couple months later, and it's like, oh, you picked up this, you know. It's like you're growing, you know. My little chickies are growing up.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh,
Yeah, I had almost like submitted that, and then I'm like, wait, I got a terrain paint.
Yep. And I noticed it too, which is the other thing.
I felt so good when you said that. I'm like, yes.
I did it.
I forget about terrain paint all the time,
Oh.
but like when I use it, it's beautiful.
It makes such a difference. It really
Oh, I
does.
just wish you could like really on the slippery slopey ones.
Oh,
that
when
you
it's
could-
like really steep. Yeah.
Ugh. Another thing with the rotato potato option is that you can like use multiple objects and they will rotate around the same angle,
Yes.
like rotate around center option. It's awesome. So it prevents like a mess if you create, which is their classic rotate option. They might be like scattered, and like move in different directions. Now everything is just kind of centered. It makes it easier. You just hold down Alt and then do all the things.
Select them all.
Rotate.
Yep.
That alt key gets a lot of work with
It
tool mod.
really does. It never saw this much action before The Sims. Before tool mod.
never fucking did.
Like, what is that button there
Yeah.
for?
It's like the FN key.
Yeah.
Control Alt Delete to get out of something, but otherwise I never touched it before.
What's really funny is I was at work the other day and I was drawing some like bookcases for a client, and I had to like put some little accessories that like, you know, and in CAD it's just like little scribbles. It looks like a little line drawing. It's not actually, you know, like a rendering or anything like that, right? But I was like trying to put like a little like picture in a little box and like, you know, some wine glasses or something on the shelf. And I'm holding Alt on my keyboard to try and like move it on the screen and stuff like that. I'm like, wait, this isn't doing anything. You know, I like catch myself like doing Sims commands in CAD at times. I'm like, wait, no.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sims brain, turn off.
Yeah, turn off.
Yes.
Focus.
Guys, number 4. It's scale.
Scale.
Which is also
Scale
like,
is also amazing.
oh my god, everything here is just amazing. Except for maybe move, which is always at an angle.
Yeah.
Bitch.
But
Anyway.
scale for area rugs is hands down the thing that I do the most.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise you're going from like scale 1 to scale 2, but sometimes you just want like a 1.5 or a 1.75 for your scale for your area rugs to fit the room. So yeah.
It's awesome. And like you can scale down, scale up. You can do it to like use different chairs for like at a dinner table or something. You can put like cushions instead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just put the chairs there and then scale them down real good, and then and they will sit there, I think, kind of.
Kind of playable.
Yeah. It looks pretty.
With the desks, I know for like teenage rooms and stuff like that, people use that to like, instead of having them sit and do makeup on a desk chair, you can do like a cute little poof or whatever. I think it's nice.
Yeah. I use that one a lot actually.
Yeah, as we talked earlier, like scaling debug items and like landscaping items and trees and rocks and just all of the things. Really.
Yeah.
And you can do if you want to do like a fire thing, you can use there's this like lamp from Get Famous, I think, that's like coal and it's like burning. And then you can just take a bunch of them, scale them down, and then put them like, I put the monolith from Get Together, so it looks like there's fire coming from the circle in the monolith. Oh, it's beautiful.
Because like in base game, like if I had to do that once where I was doing like a base game only build, right? Yeah. Kev doesn't do pack restrictions. Just making that very clear now.
Yeah.
I don't do pack restrictions. However, I feel like
stressful.
I would do more of just base game than pack restrictions, because it's just one box to check on the filter, you know, versus having to go through and check all the other ones. But anyway, there's no fire pits, like outdoor fireplaces in base game. So using like, you can find other fire elements to kind of make it look like a fireplace outside.
Yeah. I have yet to figure out how to do. I see people use like a fireplace and then kind of scaling it down. You just see kind of the top or something, and then you can have it like. I have not figured out how to do that. My Sims fucking hate it every time. So stupid. Yeah, but this is great. Also, like, I think it's also from Get Together. There's this angle thing that people use to like put up against the ceiling. And you kind of want to scale that up, like maybe, or you want to scale it down to like 0.8 or 1.3 instead of 2. So then that's great. And those you can rotate.
Yes.
Which is,
yes.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, they look like giant steel brackets, you know, kind of a thing. We used that on a build recently because it was like we had this like terrained lot, so like there was like a hill and the house was like cantilevering off the hill, and then we used those brackets angled so it looked like it was like support brackets to hold up that. Yeah.
Magic.
It was pretty magical, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, I just love Tool because like I have never seen such creative like thinking. I think
Yeah.
also because you can
Mm-hmm.
like try to think outside the box and try to like find new purposes for everything,
Exactly.
which is kind
Mm-hmm.
of all I did when I first downloaded
Yeah.
Tool.
So that's what I love about The Sims, because it's like they only give you like so many things that you can do, but with this, like anything, like literally anything can be used to be something else.
Exactly. Like people will come into stream and they'll see me building, and just by the way that you've changed like the proportions of scaling things and then also like the angle that you're looking at things, they'll be like, is this CC? You know, like, is this build, do you use CC? I'm like, no, I'm not using any CC in this build, but it's just the way that it looks in like maybe a better proportion, and then also like, you know, looking at an object used differently, you know, will make it look like it's CC, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember because I look at a lot of like those stop motion speed builds. I think they're awesome. Just the pure effort people put into making those. But like everything looks like it's CC because they just like they flip everything around with the tool mod. Oh, it's just
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, why don't I have this? I have the same pack. So oh no, they built that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
great.
Yeah.
I
And
see.
then going back to Caitlin, and she breaks things because she's like, "How did you do this?"
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
horrible. Sorry, there's a lot of Caitlyn hate right now, but you
No,
know.
we love you, Caitlin.
We love Caitlin.
We also have some tips for you. Like the fifth option that we put in is toggle active object, but I think we talked about that a little. You can like select multiple objects. You just hold down Alt key to like shift what kind of object you are looking at or what kind of object you want to change. And then remember, if you're rotating different objects, like let's say shelves, just remember to like central rotation. It's beautiful. Save you so much time.
There's a new one that I learned the other day where it
Ooh.
was you can actually hold down shift and click on your keyboard, and then it starts a little lasso. So like you can then take your cursor and like kind of lasso around objects that are, you can only lasso on the ground. You cannot lasso in a vertical plane. It has to be in a horizontal plane. But anything that's in that connected lasso that you do will then select. And so if you want to move something on the wall, you can actually, like if you have multiple things on the wall, you can actually lasso the floor below it and it will select all those objects, and you can bring them forward or backwards or whatever with the alt clicking and stuff like that. Yeah.
This is insane to me.
Yeah. That one, I like I said, I literally learned that one like maybe a month ago, you know, and it's like something I had never done before, but I needed to use it for some, I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, somebody shared it with me in chat and I was like, I'm like trying to do it. I'm like, whoa, this is
Oh.
amazing.
Like the Photoshop users be out here like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember Lasso.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome tip. So we have some more tips for you if you're new to the tool mod. Also, we have some other things that Twisted Mixie has done. But yeah, so remember to turn off the snap to terrain because that will make it easier to move the objects like how you want them to actually be. Sometimes you want it to snap to terrain. I don't know when, but you know, whatever.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I learn from my mistakes.
If you use a snap camera on move, then when you use like high XY values for your objects, it seems forever lost. Like they can go wherever. But then if you use the snap camera on move, then you will be able to find them. Sometimes that's good when you use too high values and you're like, okay, god damn it.
It's off in the sky.
Bye.
Yeah.
So this I don't understand. It's a use grid. This tool mod option allows you to turn the grid on and off as you desire. You just press G,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
But that grid's different from the move grid too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I did not
I think
know.
that's like the X and Y.
Yeah. So the move grid will be
Ah.
the X and Y, and then like the building grid will always be like squared on the lot, where the move grid might be
Uh,
angled on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so why would you want to add extra confusion
Yeah, no.
with a grid on an angle? We're not trying to build isotopic houses here, fellas.
Yes.
And then you can also set like colors for move X color, Y color, and then the C color for rotation. So if you're like me, blind, you can change it from like green to a blue, and it's easier to see when you're building on grass. So that was the tips for the tool mod. But the king has also created another mod that works very well with the tool mod. Jess, what is that? Tell me.
It's better build by.
Oh, game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Necessity.
Yes, you have. If you're gonna be using tool mod, you gotta have better build by too. It helps with sprucing up your creations in game. It gives new ways to decorate your house, and it broadens your selections when you're building.
Yeah.
You can add more items, like debug, live edit options. Like all those objects are suddenly available when you start it up.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like career locked items, you can unlock them just a little click.
Yes.
No more typing in everything. Ooh.
Everything's unlocked. My favorite thing with better build by is the deletion protection.
Yes. It's so good. So many times when I've cluttered a table and then like have to delete something next to it, and for some weird reason it decides to like clear off that entire table of clutter that I just did. I'm like, why? Yes.
I forgot to turn it on when I was doing my mash build, and I had cluttered like the entire top of the entertainment center, and then
Yeah.
I went and did something to the roof. I can't remember what. Everything was gone.
Everything just goes.
It was
Something
gone.
happens. Yep. That's why I love that. But the parent, like, you shouldn't leave that on. Well, I guess, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really come across a reason, like, if you leave it on, obviously you won't be able to delete something, but they have like this little window that prompts up that's like, don't forget that you have this turned on, kind of a thing when it's checked.
Ah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
So
hey, when you're done using it, turn it off.
yeah. And I'm like, I haven't really, I don't know. Such a
Maybe,
drastic warning
Yeah.
to use it.
I leave it on more than I turn it off.
Yeah.
I think it's like on all the time.
Yeah.
It does not protect against like some bugs though. Like if
No.
you change wallpaper, then some things you have put with the tool mod will just like
Yeah.
disappear. And like decorations on walls and stuff. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Twisted Mixie, fix that. Fix everything. Fix the game.
Make a new game for us.
Yes.
I would buy into that one. If
Yes.
Twisted Mexi made a simulated game, I would buy that one.
Yeah, you can also, as I said, ignore unlocks, so then you can buy and place all the career items. I think it's like sad that it doesn't work on wardrobe items, like no cast items, I think. It's just for the build.
It's just
Correct.
for building.
Just for build, yeah.
And then you can toggle move objects on, so you don't ever have to type that in again. Oh, same with organized debug. It's like you can also check in, debug and live edit objects, and you don't have to type those in. And then with organized debug, as it says in the notes, this is the core of it all. This one names the debug items because most will just have debug. It's like, bitch, what are you? I don't know.
Cup. Glass.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Yeah. And you're going to have to restart the game when you toggle it on and off. But then when you toggle it on, oh, girls, open your eyes to all the new items.
You got everything.
You'll have access to everything, which is amazing.
It's like a little hard to do clutter because there's a lot of shit right there.
Yeah.
But like for landscaping, you have all the debug trees and bushes
So much
and plants.
better. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
And then the expandable menu too. So when you push 1 on your keyboard, it shows like 5 lines or 6, I think 5 lines of gallery or like build menu stuff instead of just the 2. So you're not having to like scroll through a little menu or anything that.
Scroll. You got everything. Like you can just see it right there.
Yep.
We love that for us.
Anything to make our lives easier.
Yeah. And then before the recent update, now this is like integrated in the actual Sims, but before you could not hit the tab button in build mode. you would have to be in like
Live
live
mode.
mode,
Yeah.
to enable free cam. But now you can. This was a game changer. Also, I know a lot of like when you do the stop motion, this is what you need to use. So this is the go-to for them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because it gets rid of all the UI from like the pictures. Yep.
Yeah, good day. Except for the plumbobs above the
Yeah, but
Sims.
you can turn those off. Yeah.
Yeah. Hide headline effects.
Yeah. Headline effects off is what you would type into the command bar.
I've been using that one since Sims 3.
Yeah. So that way you can take pictures without the Plumbob or any sort of
Shut
menu.
the fuck up.
We just elevated Julia's Insta game by 1 trillion today.
What the fuck? You know what I've been doing when I do like the tours of my buildings? I put like a little cellar and then I put a random sim there, and they are just always active while my other sims do things that I wanna fit.
You're telling me you lock up a sim in a basement
Yeah.
so that you can take nice pictures of your builds that don't have Plumbobs on them?
Yeah.
I love this so much for so many reasons.
I'm so fucking dumb. This is why I cannot download Wicked Whims. I'll go straight to hell.
I think we need this to happen at this point.
I think we do.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a cheat for that.
Wow, Julia, you dumb bitch.
No longer having to send that one random sim to the basement
But I
or to
kinda
the
like that.
market or something like that. Go on a run while I have these people. Yeah.
You're like, go walk the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Long walk. Very long walk, please.
Bye. Oh my God.
Just get out of here.
Sometimes they would even have like a child for the sole purpose of me being able to do. But the child always having the plump. Not being in frame.
I would be so here for the storytelling of this.
The only
Just
reason you
saying.
exist is
Yeah.
so we can take nice pictures.
I mean, that seems far less traumatic than some people's actual childhood.
Oh my God. This is amazing.
I hate it here.
Well, you learned something.
Yeah, I sure did. I was here to tell other people how to use a tool mod, and I learned a very basic. Jeez. I'm so dumb. Anyway, I'm gonna have to come to terms with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know it when I first started. So.
Say that now, but I've been playing also since day one.
You know. Bless your heart, Julia. Bless your heart.
I love that.
And it was at this moment she knew
Yeah.
she fucked up.
Not the CPS coming to my house.
Yeah. We're in the middle of a photo shoot. Can you come later?
You can't take the child out of the basement. I got more pictures to take.
This lighting's perfect.
You're ruining my dramatic shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Now the police are here. I don't care.
God, I'm crying.
Ew.
Like my cheeks hurt from smiling
Yeah.
so much. Oh, Mama's gonna need Botox.
Recenter.
Compose.
Who is editing this episode? I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Might be me.
And I'm not sorry anymore.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's not a tangent, so.
Yeah.
That's true. This is like, it has a purpose.
This one
Yes.
does have purpose. We're learning.
Yeah.
It's so much better when you do it with your friends
Yeah.
and a stranger.
We're all
I feel
friends
like
here,
we
we're all
know
friends
each
here.
other now.
Yeah. I feel like from the get-go.
We are. From the same mold here, you know.
Yes. Truly.
Okay, where were we?
You can do fruit bowls.
Yep.
The better built by the tool mod, which is awesome. If you ever grow tired of the pre-made ones, do your own.
Make
Take
your
all
own.
the produce. Also, they have all of the fruits in the. You can do cow plant in the debug item, which is great if you're a lazy farmer like me.
Mhm.
Just trying to
Yep.
move on. Trying to spill knowledge. I know things, guys. I have played Sims for a long time.
You can make fruit bowls. One of my favorite types of fruit bowls is to take the base one and I'll tool it down so it's inside that Dream Home Decorator, not a cereal bowl one.
Oh. Mm.
So I have made fruit bowls in The Sims before.
Oh my god, look at you. This is a great tip.
Yes.
And you can hide your weed in there.
And they don't get stinky.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Look at that. That was like it.
And we're done.
Yeah. No, but we do have some questions,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes.
So, except for the beautiful fruit bowl, what is your most creative use for the tool mod?
For
do you
using
think?
tool, I'd say the pergolas. I use that a lot for those. So obviously rotating the sticks down and creating the roof of a pergola, I use it for that a lot. And then I'd say my other big one recently has been I'll take the high school years round dining table, the one that kind of looks like a cone, right?
Mm.
And then I'll flip it upside down so it looks like one of those really cool mid-century Malm fireplaces. So I'll use
Ooh.
the outdoor retreat gold brass disc fire pit and put that on a Desert Lux coffee table and then have a little bit of space, and then you have that cone table above it so it looks like one of those really cool like round mid-century fireplaces. Yeah. So that's one
Feels
of my
like we
favorite
had
things.
one of those fireplaces in like Sims 3.
We did back
Ah.
in the day, you know, but yeah, not anymore.
La-di-da.
Yeah, not anymore.
Now we have to build our own things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, I love doing that. And then my bar carts that I do on stream, because they're
Yeah.
so like detailed and cluttered that like tool selecting to move it into position and stuff is really kind of needed for it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
If you haven't
Awesome.
seen Kev's bar carts, they're amazing.
I'm gonna go and check them out. Maybe I'll learn something new. Again.
Maybe.
Twice in a day. What about you, Jess? As a baby boomer, I was about to say, but a baby tooler.
Baby boomer. I'm not that old, thank you.
Sorry. I'm so young, I don't know.
35. My most creative use? I mean, I'm just still kind of figuring it out. What did I do? I like that porch I built. Kevin knows that
Mhm.
I had the little like made kind of a pergola thing too.
Yes. Yeah. The
Ah.
pergolas are always great. And then obviously your clutter too
Mhm.
is also needed
Yes.
for tools. So you used it for that. And then like
Mhm.
anytime you scale something like rugs, I mean that's really because
It is a
sometimes
game
those
changer.
rugs are always just so like small, you know? It's like
Yeah.
you can only fit like 2 legs of the sofa on it, not like all 3 kind of a thing. And I'm just like, it needs to be bigger,
I
you
think the
know?
rugs are either like too big or too small.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so true. So true.
Yeah, that was a real also for me scaling the rugs. I'm like, oh, and now I can use this pretty rug that's so big, but it's like tiny and it fits in the room. How nice. Who would have thought? How bizarre.
I once did before we could paint on ceilings, right? I
So like
did
yesterday.
Yeah, it feels so new still, you know. But I had worked on this shell challenge for another streamer that was to do like a library, right? And there's that rug tile that's like looks like kind of like fleur-de-lis patterns, but it's like there's like
Oh
a
yeah.
rectangle and then there's like corner pieces and stuff like that. I had built that out on the floor and then tooled it up so that it was on the ceiling, so it looked like sort of like a plastered, gilded ceiling and stuff like that. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I hope that's a. Can we do that? Gilded ceilings?
I mean, you could use those objects for it, but I don't
Yeah.
know. There's that isn't there the Realm of Magic flooring that has like the little
Yeah.
scrolly piece? You could probably use those as like little corners of a room and make it look nice. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You hear that, kids? Flip stuff up the ceiling.
Yeah. So you usually sit on the floor. It doesn't have to anymore.
No.
I love a good rhyme also. This makes
Completely
it so much more
unintentional, but
impactful.
I do what I can.
Yeah. And then like they're creating Sims 5 as we're speaking, probably stressed because Life by You is coming out in like a month. God bless us, everyone.
Yeah.
Do you think like with the tool mod, we saw some things when they were showing Project Renee, like you can now flip stuff like XYZ angles. Do you think that Twisted Mexi impacted this? Like, so they're actually doing this for Sims 5? Or
I'm sure. I'm always one of those people that want to say that I hope The Sims gives credit where credit is due a lot of the times, but I don't know if that's always the case. And for what Twisted Mexi has created, it's really changed the game for all of us builders. So I'm sure the Sims team saw like how people are manipulating objects, or at least, what our skill level is and capability of being able to do stuff like that. I'm sure maybe when they created Sims 4, they were like, oh, people aren't going to think about that. They're not going to go that detailed with their builds and stuff like that. But now they're
they don't
seeing
want
what people
rounded
are
pools.
created. Yeah. And so I think that they've always had to play catch up with the Sims 4 to try and be like at least at the same level as how we have progressed as builders in the game. But you look at rounded walls and rounded rooms, like that's still a nightmare. Like there's
That's the
there's so
worst.
many things wrong
Yeah.
with how those function to be furnished, and like it aggravates me so much because
And the
that's something
windows
that
as well. It's just
yeah
lazy.
yeah
Everything about it is lazy. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
they wanted rounded walls. You got them. I'm like, I have to use the tool mod to actually place things here.
yeah.
Yeah.
And don't even try painting the ceiling of a round room yet.
Oh no, I have not tried.
Yeah, it doesn't even show up like on half of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's always like patchy.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
so like you
diagonal.
don't
Oh,
paint the ceiling on the corner aspect of the round room. It's just like a white triangle that comes into the room.
I
So
mean,
only
I
white
might be
ceilings for
dumb.
those.
Yeah. No fancy ceilings there.
No. No.
Ugh, no, there's nothing about rounded walls that I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also with the free camera thing in build mode, I think that's definitely taken from Twisted
Twisted
Mex's
Mexi.
mod.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For
I don't
sure.
know if they give him any credit though.
Yeah.
So yeah, except for the flipping of ceilings and like the rugs up to the ceilings, is there a hack that you use that you don't think a lot of people are aware of? Except, typing in that you don't have to use the Plumbob ceiling.
Yeah, headline effects off.
Yeah, that's
First
a big one.
I'd say it's probably one of my other things. When you look at my builds or even my posts on social for it, I'm always trying to line my camera's angles up in a way that the verticals are straight, so that it doesn't look like the room's like out of perspective when
Ah,
you're like looking at a screenshot or something like that. So like trying to keep things like that in mind when you're taking screenshots of like your builds at the end of the day really help with like realism.
ooh.
But like I said, like I'm always using the scale, I'm always using the rotate, I'm always using the move. Like those are the biggest thing. I have not dabbled in the create a world thing yet, so that's something that I would want to do eventually, but I don't know, that would just suck me into like a whole different way of playing this game that I don't know if I'm ready
Yeah.
for.
It's a deep rabbit hole
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, debug alone's a deep rabbit hole, but
Yeah.
like to then plan a whole world. Well,
What if anything, and I think we touched on some of the things, like what do you think the tool mod is lacking at the moment, and what kind of like updates and progressions do you see could be happening?
I wish the scale of how it does its number system was like a little more, I don't know, like a little bit easier. Like I always feel like sometimes I'm constantly guessing of like how high I need to raise
Yeah.
something. And I wish there was like another way to kind of control that. Or like maybe snap points or something like
Ooh.
that you could
Mm.
then like drag and like get it to like a standard height of like what a countertop is at and then like what the refrigerators are at. Like, some of these objects that are in game to allow us to get things to like a specific height if you're moving like a bunch of things up and down. But yeah, I mean, I think the move that they've done to have like a UI menu now has really changed the game for it. Like
For sure.
it's so much easier to use now.
Truly. I wasn't there in the beginning because I'm so young.
Yeah.
Of Pokemon. So I came in when they had the UI and when you could do build mode, use
Yeah.
it in build mode.
Yeah.
But like I can't. It must have been so hard.
It was weird. It was really weird. And I didn't use it much, but there was like a theater that I was doing for another streamer's challenge, and I had to like position a whole bunch of chairs and get them like on an angle so it looked like they were like fanning out. And so like I was like rotating sections of them and then copying and duplicating back and everything. And that was the first one where I had a sim on the lot, took pictures, did a video, and then before I had uploaded it to the gallery, I had moved the sim off the lot and they took all the furniture with them. And it was like one of those, it was that moment when I knew I fucked up. So, that was mine.
Oh.
Where it was just so bad. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. But I will say I
Traumatic.
also have been getting into like poses recently, right?
Oh.
Because I do like I have my zaddies that I make on stream, and then I also have like promotional stuff for my bake off, and so like I'll get poses to get them to look like they're doing something, and I'll tool them. You can tool you like Sims and get them closer together after they're like in a pose and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah. So you like if you're in live mode and you have your sim like posing, right? You can toggle them as the object and you can alt move them into position where you want them to be. Yeah.
I always knew they were objects.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
That's awesome because I used to do a bunch of posing in Sims 3 and you could just from the jump move your sim as an object. So the fact that you really couldn't do that in Sims 4 was a little irritating.
Yes. So that was another thing that I don't know if it's always been that way that you could do that, but it's definitely whenever they did it, that was smart of them to be able to manipulate Sims like that for people's poses.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know. Yeah, because I also used to move them all the time in Sims 3.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized you could not do it in Sims 4, and I just kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. But like if you're taking a picture of like a room, like I did this recently on one of my builds where like I had the sim like holding like a Starbucks coffee cup and they're drinking it, but it looks like they're leaning up against the wall kind of a thing.
Ooh,
And so
sexy.
I put them in that pose and then I tool them and angle them in the position that I want them to be in my screenshot that I take of the build,
That is just so cool.
Yeah.
Now I kind of understand more.
Yeah. Like if you just want them to be doing something particular, you can have them pose instead of like trying to snap the action live,
I'm so dumb.
No, you're not.
No.
We just learned from each other.
You're learning, yeah.
Learning so many things.
I didn't know I could do this, in the past. Like you always learn something, you pick it up,
So what have you learned from me today? Nothing.
That I need to go to IKEA more and maybe get a cat that speaks Japanese. So
Why am I on this podcast? You should replace it with Kevin.
Konnichiwa. That's all I know.
Awesome sauce.
Yes.
There's a spot open at the podcast. Permanent position. Anything just that you feel that tool mod is lacking? Even though you're a baby.
I'm still a baby when it comes to this, so I don't know. I'm still experiencing like the entire scope of what a tool can do.
Yeah. There's so much.
Oh, so many things.
But I always feel like it's like you focus on one thing, like, it's just like the scale, you just like focus on making area rugs bigger. And then like you'll graduate from that and that feels like second nature to you. And then you'll start getting really comfortable with the elevate tool. And then
Mm.
you just keep going and going until you're like landscaping and you're like, oh, I can scale bushes differently. And then I can get rocks to create this waterfall or like this cave. And, so it takes time, but the more you use it, the more easier it gets too.
Yeah, and you learn what you can't do. You can't use rugs as dinner tablecloths.
No.
Sad times. That is what I learned. Also, I think you should be able to angle the grid so you can move properly.
Yeah, no.
Twisted Maxi, if you're listening. Jag vet att du lyssnar. Okej, bror? Fixa det!
Yeah.
Please.
Please.
Because we don't want to build angle houses.
No.
Because we can't put stairs there.
No.
Jesus!
So.
Oh, it's just the worst of places. Anyways, if you guys could say one thing to Twisted Maxi, what would that be?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
To be honest, like, I hate to say that it'd be that simple, but it's just like I recently did a stream where I went through like memory lane of builds. So like I looked at like my very first shell challenge to like my most recent shell challenge, and it's like we had alt place, as like a capability, but like my builds look so empty. It was like you walk into the house and there's a console with like one plant on it, nothing else, kind of a thing. So it was just like the realism factor is so much more now. And it made the game more interesting too, because you can look at these objects differently. It feels like you've doubled your library in a way to be able to manipulate objects so many different ways now too.
Definitely.
So thank you, Twisted Maxi.
Yes.
Thank
God,
you.
thank you.
Elevating our gameplay.
Yes.
Yes. Just like creating an entirely different game within the game.
Mm-hmm.
Learning how to place things. Oh. So what's coming next for you, Kevin? You have another Bake Off, don't you?
We do. We have Bake Off Season 5 coming up now. So yeah, this is all things. This is going to be the first time that we've done one that is like fall and spooky season related. So up until like, I don't know, this past one was like our first spring and summer. And so every other season we had done during like the holiday time. And so there had always been like, a Christmas, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, harvest kind of aspect to it. So now this one's going to have like a little bit of Halloween in it, a little bit of just like fall, pumpkin spice, autumn kind of vibe to it. So yeah, we have some really good
White girl
little
autumn
challenges coming up. And we're going to have 16 new contestants in it that had never been in it before. And we're building the castle called Blicking Hall, Blicking Hall, and it's in Norfolk, England, and it is like an actual haunted castle.
No.
Yeah, and so there's like backstories of like the haunted people that are in it, but it's this gorgeous castle.
Oh my god,
yeah.
It looks like the place from the second season of The Haunting of Bly Manor.
It might have been used for that, to be honest. There was a couple of them that we were looking at that were like used in like Batman and like a bunch of other like movies and television shows. So but this is the one that we ended up going with, and we're going to build it on stream, and then the contestants get to move in. We have 2 teams this season that will continue all the way to the end this season. So like Jess was on Team Blue last season, and now we're going to do it in a way where the teams go all the way to the end for the finale now. And we have 2 coaches. We have the Awful Gamer, who's going to be one team coach, and then we have Shannon Builds, who will be the other team coach. And yeah, we're going to see how the camaraderie aspect of having coaches help with contestants going further in the game and stuff like that. So
my god, so intricate.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we've done this for a while now, and it's like, it's the most chaotic Sims gameplay you can ask for, because the game is most broken by the AI, like, the way that the Sims think and everything. So for something as simple as like making cookies becomes like a half a day ordeal for the Sims, because
With like everyone in chat screaming, "Find an oven!"
yeah. Because there's like 20 ovens in the tent and there's only 16 of them, so there's clearly not enough ovens in the tent. And I think last season was the first time that we actually doubled up the ovens, so there was literally like, I think 32 ovens in the tent at one time, and yet only half of the 16
People
people
would just
competing
like walk from
Yeah.
spot to spot.
looking for an oven, and it's so frustrating yet so hilarious at the same time. And
I think that was always my downfall, was I could not find an oven.
no. And this past season was the first time that me and my mods had like turned ourselves into the game and turned us into ghosts in the house. And so there's been like a spooky trait on the house too. So like every once in a while, one of the contestants will get scared because they saw a ghost. And so then they're like running around the tent, like looking for an oven because they're scared, and it's so fun. It's so cute. It's so whimsy, but it's also like maddening at the same time. So
The sheer patience you must have to be able to like do a whole stream of this, not just once, not just twice,
yeah,
but now
it's
5
like
times.
9 weeks is like one season. So we do it every Saturday for 9 weeks. And it's so fun to see like, past contestants come into chat, and then like, you know, you earn these channel points on Twitch and you can cash those in to help the contestants and stuff like that. So like it gives them
Or cause
skill building
chaos.
activity or cause chaos. And all I can say is this next season, with it being, like spooky and Halloween, there's a lot of tricks and treats this season that, are going to be
Ooh.
different from last season. So
Oh my god,
yeah.
I love this. Feel like I'm an actual like news reporter talking to someone who's creating a new season of a show. Like, we can't disclose much,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
can't.
gonna
I
tell
can't
you.
yet. I can't yet. But it's amazing. It's everything. It's. I guess it's so much different because of the theme. The theme is really pushing
Yeah.
us to go more fun with it than before. We were really trying to be like the Great British Bake Off, but with the Sims. So like there was sort of like this like formality to it, but now this
Yeah.
next season is very much like, we're putting ghosts in the house. We're like, we're giving us occult Sims living in the house. Our drag queens are coming back, and, they're going to do a performance of like, maybe Thriller or the Monster Mash or something like that. It's going to be epic.
Oh, I love the Monster Mash.
Yes.
I'm gonna vote.
Yeah.
Can I vote
Yeah,
for
you can
Monster
vote.
Mash?
You can vote.
I'm gonna type
I
here
don't
in
know where
our
the votes go, but yeah, you can vote.
Monster Mash.
Yeah.
I'm typing in our chat. Vote. Thank you.
One vote. So far, you're in the lead.
Also, like low key, high key, my new dream to see a bunch of drag queens perform Monster Mash.
Yes. Yeah.
Trixie, I know you play.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes. Yeah. If Trixie wants to come sponsor our Bake Off stream, I would, 1, die, and then 2, be so happy and thankful. So
That would be amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, awesome. Well, I'm fresh out of fucks. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm fresh out of questions.
So yeah, where can if people don't really follow you and they want to follow you, where can they
Yes.
find you?
I'm primarily on Instagram and on Twitch as KevTheBuilder, and then I have YouTube. I have Twitter, but I don't usually go on it.
No.
Yeah, and then I have Threads, and I don't usually go on that either. So I'm.
And us Europeans can't go on Threads either.
Oh,
because...
really? It's not open yet to you guys? Or?
No, because Mark Zuckerberg hates privacy, and he wants to sell your data to everyone, and that goes against the GDPR. Yeah.
Well, maybe
so, like,
you guys have it right and we don't.
Yeah, I think so.
Illinois is a little bit better because every so often I feel like I get some money from a class action.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I just signed up for the Illinois one, and I was like, oh, well, how much is this going to be?
There's a whole Facebook class action
That's
now.
the one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
because that's part of Meta and everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good for you guys. Get the
Luckily,
money.
we're in Illinois.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have TikTok?
I do have TikTok. Yeah, I've started posting a little bit on there, but like it's I think the algorithms everywhere, it's always trying to find like your niche of like what you want your content to look like on all these social platforms and stuff like that. So I've really curated out Instagram how I want it to look, and then obviously my Twitch stream too. But TikTok, it's always been kind of like throw up content on there. It's like whatever I have, I just like push it there. But recently, I'd say in the past couple of weeks is when I've actually started putting more intent on what I'm posting on there. And it's pretty stuff. It's not like, gameplay or chaos or anything like that. So
Awesome. I love watching Sims on like builders, especially on TikTok, because they do the ASMR thing.
yes.
And they just have the
Click, click,
building
click, click.
sound.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I do love that noise.
it's just so satisfying. I could never, because I don't have then you have to finish a whole house.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. Oh, awesome. So Kev the Builder everywhere.
Yes.
Yep. Go follow him. Go watch Bake Off. It's always fun.
Yes.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
But thank you so much for coming on. We're so happy you were here, Kev.
Thank you for having me. This is fun. I love you guys so much. And Julia and Jess, it's been a pleasure. And I feel like we're kindred spirits, across the globe from each other. So, yeah.
Oh my God, true love happened here.
Yes, exactly.
And also knowledge.
Yeah. We've all learned something today from varying degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some more than others.
Yep. If you want to follow us, though, we are Plumbobcast on Instagram and Twitter. We are Plumbob Podcast on Reddit. We are Under the Plumbob Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr. We are on TikTok as well. I think we're Plumbobcast there. I don't know. Just search for us.
Yeah.
Our website that the beautiful Julia built doesn't just build Sims houses. It's plumbobcast.com. We have a contact form there, or you can email us at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com. We have merch.
Name change.
What?
Do we need a name change?
I know. Sometimes I hate that our name is so long, but it works. We have merch. Go to bit.ly/plumbobmerch. We also have a Patreon.
Yes, join the Patreon.
Join the Patreon. For $1, you get access to our private Discord. You can chat with most of us. Some of us aren't on there, but most of us are on there.
I usually just talk about the smut I've read.
Yep.
So if you're into smut.
Yeah, we have a book club, so come join Julia's Smut Corner.
It's the only place to be, actually,
Yeah.
guys. Why are you not on there?
Right?
Jesus. Stop hating female creators.
Then we have our $3 tier. You get a monthly bonus episode. We're also going to start implementing some other stuff. Like we'll do more videos for you guys. We might have movie nights.
Yeah. All of those things, guys. Get them.
Yeah.
$3.
$3.
It's like half a latte. Come on now.
Yeah. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you're listening. We're on every podcast app. Please find us. If you're listening to us, you can rate us, I'm sure.
Right now, in this moment, if you're still listening, you're a true fan.
Yes.
And we love you. And you're going to put that 5-star. Or you put a 1-star. And as I said, Jess will crochet that shit into something beautiful.
I will make a cross stitch and put it on my wall of fame/shame.
Yes. Goodbye forever.
Yep. It's been so long since I recorded. I forgot how to end these things.
I don't know. No. Bye.
Have a good one, everyone. Save your game. Drink some water.
Touch grass.
Yes. And we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.